If you got a big ego, you don't listen to anybody else, you don't learn, right? We dealt with this in the SEAL teams. You get someone that's rolling through with a big ego and they can't put it in check for even a minute. And let's say they mess up during an operation and you go up afterwards and say, hey, what happened over there? And they say, Fred didn't clear his corner the way he was supposed to. And they don't take any ownership of it because they're not humble enough to say, yeah, you know what? I did a bad job entering that room. I did a bad job with my clearance. It messed up Fred. They don't say that. They said, no, it's everybody else's fault. What does that mean? That means they don't change anything that they're doing and they're never going to improve. They're never going to get better. They don't take any advice. They can't learn. They can't progress. Those are the people that we had to fire. Running advanced SEAL training, when we had to fire somebody, we had to fire people that were arrogant because they couldn't listen. Because if you listen, you're going to learn, you're going to make adjustments, you're going to change the way you're doing things so that they work correctly. But if you already think you know everything, you're not going to listen to anybody else. You're going to keep doing things the same way. And when they don't work, you keep doing them the same way that doesn't work. And you end up having to get fired. And it's terrible to have to fire someone. You don't want to do that, but it happens. So there's that whole piece of arrogance and having a big ego that hurts you. I deserve this. This is what I worked to be here. And they say those things. And look, there's different levels. But when someone gets up there and they're humble, they get that crowd support. You can just see that that's the way human beings are. When someone is arrogant, they're not liked. When someone's humble, people like them. So when you're in a leadership position and you're arrogant, you have a big ego, people don't like you. Wrote about it in Leadership Strategy and Tactics. I had a SEAL platoon commander. He was arrogant, giant ego. We all hated him. We got him fired. Why did we get him fired? Did we get him fired because he didn't know how to shoot his weapon? Did we get him fired because he didn't come up with the best plans? No, we got him fired because he didn't listen. He was arrogant and we didn't like him. In the SEAL teams, in a SEAL platoon, guy makes a mistake. Hey man, you can't do that. If a guy's arrogant and has a big ego and making mistakes, the knives come out. The sharks are in the water. I'm kind of calling it the way I see it and just letting people know, if you have a big ego, people don't like you. Now, here's the real problem in everything I just said. People that have a big ego, they think they're smart and they think no one can see what they're doing. They don't have self-awareness. That's why they're acting that way. And since they have a big ego, they think they can get away with it. They think no one will notice that they didn't show up to do the hard work. They'll think that nobody noticed that they left early when everyone else was putting in extra hours. They think that no one will notice that when they had to fill out their evaluations, they made themselves look great and they made the team look okay. That's what happens. And people think that no one sees it. Arrogant people think that they're smarter than everybody else and no one can see what they're doing. And everyone can see what they're doing. It's so blatantly obvious. Common things that we talk about at Echelon Front when someone has a big ego and why having humility is the most important characteristic. Yes, you can't listen. Yes, you don't evolve. Yes, you think you have all the best ideas and you don't take any input from someone else. Yes, you underestimate the competitor that you're up against. All those things are true, but I'm going to give you some brass tacks. If you're arrogant, people don't like you. That's why people that are arrogant and have a big ego, they go through life not being liked, and in often cases, they don't even know that that's happening. So be humble, most important characteristic of a leader. And if you think right now that I'm not talking to you, there's a really good chance you're the person I'm absolutely talking to. Get humble.